Okay. So last day we only learnt about the core rule, like why this is a rule, because if the core rule isn't there, then when a situation like this happens, the game will just keep going on forever.
Yeah.
So we need to change the whole board's position, and then we can take back the core. So this is exactly what happens, as I was talking about making a core threat in the last session. So here it says that white just captured this stone and this area became a core fight. So because white just captured a stone here, black cannot play here because the whole board's position haven't really changed. So we need to make a core threat, and the threat should be good enough that white is willing to respond. So
Okay.
here we can say that this white stone has two liberties. We can make a threat like this, that if white didn't capture, we could capture this stone. So white responded. Now we can play this. And white played here. Can you suggest the next move for black?
A8.
Yep. So it only has one liberty, so you capture.
But what if white does not play A6?
Actually,
Over here, white does not play A6 after
yeah.
A3.
So white could play a8 instead, then you would just capture this much.
Okay. So it's better to not to try to defend, right?
Yes. So this page it's just explaining the rules, so it doesn't really matter. But
Okay.
as we learn more, you would learn to sacrifice a few stones to save something bigger. Black has to kill this white group. Already has a solid eye, so white just needs to make another eye to live. Now it's black's turn, and you have to figure out what is the right position where white wants to play, and you just have to play there. Yes, because if we play anywhere else, white gets this. Okay, it's the same one. It's just like this one, but it's a little different. So again, it's black to play. Now, where do you want to play? Any guess? It could be the same one like the previous one.
Is black to play or white to play?
It's black to play.
C19.
C19. To play C19, then white would
Sorry,
capture it with
D19.
D19. Okay, so you want to play D19. Let's say then white plays here. Then what would you play?
A19.
Hello? No, A19.
Oh, we
This is a
can't do
suicide
that.
move.
It's a
Yeah.
subtraction.
E18.
E18.
Sorry? I heard 18, but I don't know which 18.
E18.
E18. Okay. Then white captures this. Then white still has two eyes, right?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Let's go back. So it looks like white has two eyes, but white actually has one eye. The reason being this white stone has two liberties, right? So black can put him into Atari. Now white has to connect here and only left with one liberty. So
Can you show that again?
yeah, so captures. Now you do a Atari here.
If
So
white
white
does
has
not
to connect.
connect,
White can ignore because this group is dead. So no matter
oh,
what white does, it everything is going to be captured. But let's assume that white connects because this is in Atari. Now the whole group is in Atari and white gets captured. So wait, not that one. Even though this looks like an eye, it's not an eye. And these are called false eyes.
okay.
And to create false eyes, what you need to do is you need to make a sacrifice. Okay, let's change it up a little bit. Let's say, what if white played here? What would black play then?
E19?
Yes. Okay, now we can go back to that one. I think it was the fourth one. No, this is still a bit strong. 7, 8. Okay, now this is white to play. Okay, so white had a similar shape, but and black is trying to make a false eye here. Now, what can white do to live?
E18?
So, from the previous example, if there's E18, there's this, and this one becomes a false eye, right?
Not E. Okay. Not E19,
Oh,
E18.
sorry, E18. Okay. Now, you can either continue going on this line or you can play on the first line.
F19?
F19. Again, black cuts. Now it actually goes back to the same situation. This becomes a false eye. So, any other options?
Vidubhakshapa sir, would you like to answer?
It's a A17.
Wait, F17. What?
F
There,
17.
there's a stone here.
Sir, you can type your answer if you're having audio issue. A17 hero.
A17. A17. No, if we play A17, then again black plays this, and white only has one eye, so white will die.
Mm,
So we tried this one, right? F19.
mhm.
And that doesn't work. Let's keep going. Now, if we still play on G18, then black can play here and just one eye. So let's right now we can play G19. Now, when black cuts, we can capture. And the reason this doesn't becomes a false eye is because now we have three
Three
spaces
spaces.
inside. So even if black tries to make this a false eye, we get another solid eye. So white right now has two eyes and one false eye. And
And
two eyes means it's alive.
what if black plays E19?
Okay. If black plays here, then you can just connect. Again, you have one eye and two eyes.
Okay. D19 is an I.
Yes, not just D19. So this is inside a living group of white. That means this is a captured stone. Okay. Even though it is not taken off the board, or even though it still has one liberty, but at the end of the game, in a real game, when we're counting, we would remove this stone because that is a captured stone.
Got it.
So this is an eye that is A19, but the second eye is actually both D19 and E19 combined.
So stones which are inside opponent's territory are dead stones.
Yes, but if you check this case, that this was technically white, sorry, black's area, but this white group is inside black's territory. But it's not dead because it has two eyes. But this is inside white and it doesn't have two eyes. That's why it's dead.
Okay, so if you are inside your opponent's territory but you are alive, then that is points are counted for you. But if you are
Yes.
inside opponent's territory and you're not alive, then those are dead stones. They will be taken
Yes.
out.
Yes. I'm hoping to find Seki soon. Okay. Okay. Can you answer this question? So this is white to play. White needs to make two eyes because it is surrounded by black, but it says white to live with the most points. Okay. So you need to pick a move where you would be making the most points while being alive.
Uh,
G3.
G3. That is correct. So let's say if you were black, can you try to kill this white group?
what if I play E3 as black?
If you play e3, now what should white play to make two eyes?
E2?
E1.
Correct. No, no, not e1, e2. Because now white has two eyes. If you play e1, then white just has one eye.
Got it.
11. Okay.
When did you get it?
This is a big one, and this is white to kill this black group. Okay.
So we have to stop the two black. But then it's a really wrong group, right? How will we capture that?
Okay. So as long as black is completely surrounded by white and it doesn't have two eyes, that means it's dead, right?
Okay.
So it's completely surrounded by white. Now you just need to make sure that it doesn't get two eyes. By the way, who can mention the false eye here? The coordinate of the false eye. Did someone said anything?
I think Hariharan said A2. No,
B
Hariharan,
B
which?
three
A
B three.
B3. No, no. This is an eye for black. This whole thing, because this whole area is surrounded by black, but it's not divided in multiple parts by black. So this whole thing is one eye. Now you need to tell me that where is the false eye for black.
Sir, Virupakshima sir, would you like to answer?
Okay. So
No, not exactly.
sorry.
Yes, sir. Can you repeat yourself?
No, no, not able to understand exactly.
Okay, okay. So here, this is the false eye. You see, if white plays here, then black. Sorry. Then this is in Atari, right? So even though this looked like there was an eye, but it's not really an eye. So that's a false eye.
Because we can capture the A9 stone.
Yes. And actually, black can connect if he wants to, but as long as
It's not an eye.
this space will be forced to filled, then it's a false eye. Okay, I think we're gonna get the same problems again. Okay, now you need to mark all the liberties of this black stone. You can just write down all the coordinates of this stone's liberties.
E6, F5, E4, and
Okay,
D5.
there's e6, f5, e4, d5. Now for this black group,
Virupakshima sir, will you answer?
So this is F F4 D4 and D D6
mhm,
and D5
d5,
and E3.
e3, and there's still two left.
Oh, sorry, that is a F F3 and F6.
There's f6 and f3 is here. This is not a liberty.
So this D6
Not
Sorry,
D6.
b.
D6.
No, this is a diagonal, so this is not a liberty. Only the connected intersections are the liberties. So the last one is only this is left. The
Oh,
only connected liberty. Sorry,
D5.
connected intersection.
D5.
Yes. How many liberties?
3.
Yes. Now, how many liberties for this?
Hariharan, will you answer?
Uh, just a minute.
I think he's counting.
So you can also just mention the number. I will just put them on. You just have to guess the correct number.
It.
And yes. Now this one.
6.
Let's see what do we get now. Okay, white to capture.
D4.
Again, white to capture.
Share, will you answer?
It's A9.
Now black to capture.
Sir, will you answer? Virubakshapa, sir. Why?
F5.
Now white to capture.
D1.
Yeah.
Yes. And black to capture.
B8.
Level 1 complete. Let's see what we have in level 2. Okay. You have to mark all the liberties of black. You can just say the number.
5.
No.
4.
Yes. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, again, liberties of black.
Guys, anybody? Hariharan? Can you repeat?
F1.
You can type the answer, Hariharan. Your voice is not clear. Okay. F1 and
By the way, F1 is wrong. H5 is also wrong.
F1.
Yeah, yeah.
J1, G1,
Yes, J1,
G1, and H3,
G1,
J3,
H3, J3.
H4.
Yes. Again for black stones. By the way, is this black group alive or dead?
I think it's dead
Why?
because I think I think it's alive. I think it has two eyes, like on.
Yes, here's one eye, here's another eye. So this is one eye, this is the second eye.
Got
Okay. Now give me the number.
I think sir will give. Guru Bakshapa sir will give. Okay. 5.
5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay. Liberties of Black Group. Where is B?
Virubakshapa sir, will you like to answer?
D8. D8 and D6. Correct. Oh no. Okay, let me do it. It's too long. You just it's like using a tracing paper. You just go along with the group. Okay. Now what are the, let's say this is A B C D. Okay. Now which white groups are dead? Like which white stones or group of stones have zero liberties?
I think the top right and the bottom left.
Yes. Okay, again, it could be both white and black stones. Okay, and there's quite a few, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I
Let's
think
start with this area.
okay. I will answer one. So I will say A4.
Uh, sorry.
What did you say?
Yeah, I said B2.
Okay, you have one, and
I said A4.
okay, now only two here, and now about this group.
I think she can answer one from this group. Sorry. Uh,
I think the G8 and H8 are dead.
Mhm.
and I think sir can answer like the remaining two.
Oof, I hate this party people.
Okay. Guru Bakshapa sir would like to answer the remaining two. J9, alphabet J9.
Mhm.
Sir, we cannot hear you.
No, same J9, same.
And there's one left.
It is F7.
Yes. Okay. Now we have one, two, these three groups. Two blacks, one whites.
C C3.
Mhm.
Anybody
F5. 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 No. This group has three liberties.
Anything else? Any other group? Sir, beside F5? I think the E5 group is there.
Mm-hmm. And one more.
Shiharsha Hariharan?
And the D6 is dead.
Yes. Two black groups, one white group.
A6, A7,
Yeah.
and then the C6 one,
Yeah.
and as for Y, C and Y is dead. Oh yeah, F9.
Yes. And the last one. You have two white and one black.
A1, B2,
B1.
A1, you told?
A1, B2,
Okay. Okay. One B2
B2,
and
and E3, E4.
yeah. Okay. Let's do this for 3 to 5 minutes more. Then we'll start playing. Okay. I hope everyone has a OGS account.
I think Virubhakshapa sir has not created an account, and I think
Oh,
Hariharan has not created an account.
okay. Please create an account because after we complete this set, I would ask you guys to pair up and play.
Oh,
No, I have OGs.
Okay, okay, great. Okay, now this is a question. Is it allowed to play one?
one is so they're asking, are we allowed to play Blackstone on E5?
Yes.
No.
Okay. Is it allowed to play one?
So I think sir type one. No.
No, it is allowed because it's not a suicide when you're capturing something.
By playing
So
one.
But,
you're
but is it
capturing
not
these two stones.
self-suicide? Like in between this E7 and D6, in between it comes, no, the black one.
Yes, but whenever black plays e6, that moment black is capturing these two stones.
The stones on E4 and E5 are getting captured when we play E6.
Yes. So when you're capturing something, you can play suicide moves because the moment you play that, it gets captured and this stone would have one liberty here.
Got
Now is it allowed to play one?
No.
Yeah. Now is it allowed to play one?
Yes.
Correct. Because now we're capturing this whole group. Now is it allowed to play one?
So over here we are playing inside Black's group, right? That is allowed.
Yes. So it is allowed, right? No, I'm asking. It is allowed, right?
I think we can play inside groups.
Yes. Okay. Select 9 by 9. Here it should be live. And main time, keep it 1 minute. And periods, make them 3. Everyone can see?
Yep.
Okay. Actually, so here white is in Atari, white needs to escape. Again, white is in Atari, white needs to escape. Here, this would have been a good Atari. Now, Atari, so you need to escape. Okay, so one thing I would like to say that if your first move touches your opponent, that means, let's say, if white plays anywhere else, this stone has 4 liberties, right? But
Yeah.
the moment you touch, you only have 3 liberties. That means you're starting off weak.
That is
Weak, like weaker than, let's say, this is 4 liberties strong, but this is 3 liberties strong. That means it's 1 liberty less. And the less liberties you have, the weaker that stone or the group will become. So it's better not to touch your opponent unless it's necessary to touch your opponent's stones. Always try to play at least one space away from your opponent. That way you still retain your 4 liberties.
not.
But that will necessity we have to play an end game. No, that will impact on end game.
No. This won't impact the end game in any different way, because let's say, why are we playing this game? It's because we want to secure some territory for ourselves. So if we want to secure some territory, the easiest way is to do this in the corner. So let's say if we play something like this, so by playing this, black says that I want to take this area as my territory, and white could also play something like this and say that yeah, I want to take this area in my as my territory. And in the end game, when they complete the borders like this, then this area becomes black's territory and this area becomes white's territory.
Because when I was watching in YouTube, no, so that same thing, they were using the same concept. They are not touching
Mhm.
the different territory what they were using. But when it comes to the end, the machine should they have to play. On that time, they were suffering
Yeah,
because of the speed, and
yeah,
immediately they utilize opponent utilize that.
yeah. Because in the end game, there's not much choices left. There's only few things you can do. So as I said, that we don't touch our opponent unless that's necessary. So when it's necessary, we should definitely do it. But usually in the opening, it's not necessary. And one more thing about this 9 by 9 grid is that there is no mid game. So the moment the opening is over, we go directly to end game because the board is so small, we cannot play mid game here. Okay, so let's start concept wise. So when we want to surround territory, the easiest way to surround territory is from the corners, because let's say if I play here, let's say white also plays here. With the next few moves, we can do something like this, and we both surround some territory. So here we have 6 points, because when we're surrounding this, the border is also considered as black. So we get the whole 6 points. But let's say if we want to do the same thing in the center, we would need more stones. Similarly, if we want to do this on the side, we need more stones. So we need the less amount of stones in the corner. Then the second best option is the side, and then the third best option or the last option is the center. So we always start from the corners. Whenever you see people's games, you would see they always start from the corners. So the best places for your first few moves are open corners. So what do we mean by open? You see these bold points, right?
Yeah.
These are called star points, and usually they are the best place for your opening moves. So let's say black plays here. Now for white's best move, it would be either of these 3 points. So let's say white takes this, black takes this, and white takes this. So now there are no more open corners left. Now we can try to take the side. And for the side, we can play something like this as well. And white plays, black plays like this. Okay, let's check this one. So here's one thing, that is, this is in Atari. Again, this is in, actually you cannot save this stone, so you don't have to. You see, whenever you do an Atari, your opponent always connects, so you cannot capture. But whenever your opponent does an Atari, you do not do that. Now, you just played this white stone. I want you to tell me how many liberties does this have?
Virupakshapa sir, he asked you something.
Sorry, the white. You are asking liberty of white or
Yes, so you just played this move, na? So I want you to tell me how many liberties does this white stone has?
that is only one.
So only one. So if you play a move that only has a single liberty, that means the next move it's going to be captured. And if it's captured, that means you're losing points and your opponent is gaining points. So basically, that move becomes a burden to you. You're not getting anything and only losing. So it's better not to play it at all and play something else. So here, I was watching the whole game. At this point, who can answer? So let's say this is a Sumego and it's white to live. It is this area. This white group has to live. What should white play to live?
B1.
Yes. So with this, let's say this is an Atari, so black connects. Now white has one living group. But sadly, white played this. Now this cannot live anymore because it cannot make two eyes.
Okay.
Okay. Now another thing. When your surrounding area, if it's a larger area, then it's fine. You can easily make two eyes. But if it's a small amount of area, you need to make sure you do not play inside where you're not actually separating the space into two eyes, because so the rule says it's Japanese, right? So in Japanese rule, let's say you're surrounding this amount of territory, but so right now it has 5 points, right? So white has 5 points, but in Japanese rules, if you play inside your own territory, you're actually reducing your territory. So when you play inside, now only has 4 points. If you play inside again, it only has 3 points. So it's always similar, like when you played here, instead of playing here, it's better to play here, because by playing here you can gain one extra point. Similarly, this one should be here. Now this shape, this has a special name. Okay, this is 5 points. This is called a bulky 5. Okay. Wait, where is, yeah, so this is called a bulky 5, and this is a shape that cannot live
Oh, it cannot
because
live.
it, huh,
It cannot live.
this cannot live, this white group cannot live. The bulky 5
Oh,
is a dead shape. So the way, even though we practice a lot of sumegos, there are few common shapes that we know just by looking at it that it could live or not. So this is one of those shapes. It's called bulky 5, and this is the vital point. If black plays here, then white cannot make two eyes anymore. So let's say white can try to make a ko, but if black just plays here, no way white can make two eyes. Let's say if black plays somewhere else, then there's a ko fight. And what can white play? I don't know. Anything. Let's say white plays something, black responds, then white captures back. There's still the ko. So white has to win the ko, then only white can live. So usually it is said to be a dead shape, because obviously after white plays here, black would not ignore it. Black doesn't want any problems in the future. Black wants to make sure that this group stays dead. So black would always play here.
got it.
Also, from bulky 5, let's change the shape. Can I? 1, 2, 3, 4. So now it has 4 points inside, right? This is called bent 4.
Bent foot.
This is called bent 4. No, bent 4 is not dead. It depends. So in bent 4, wait, let's go back. Here. So in bent 4, if white plays first, he's alive. If black plays first, it's a ko. Okay. And just like bent 4, we have regular 4 also. Let's change this up. So this is just 4 in a row. Also, if it was 3, we would call it 3 in a row. Like 3 in a row is a dead shape because of this vital point. 4 in a row, however, is not a dead shape. it's always alive as long as you respond. So even if black plays here, you can just play here and you would have two eyes. If black plays here, you would just play here and you would have two eyes.
Got it.
And yeah, so right now this is bent 3. White should have played here and white could have lived.
Okay.
But white played here, that means by default you have only two liberties and one eye. And black actually doesn't even need to capture this because this is completely surrounded by black and it only has one eye. So actually let me show you why I was telling Simha not to capture, because if we estimate the score, it says black wins by 71 points. Now there's 1 point less.
Oh, because black played a stone on its own
Yes,
territory.
because this group was already dead, so the whole territory was his. But because he played something inside his own territory, so his territory is getting reduced. Okay, so as I was saying, so we try to go for the corners in the opening, right? So the best place is, especially in this board, obviously are these star points, but also these points. Okay, so if I had to call them, these all are called 3-4 points.
3, 4.
Yeah, the reason being that it's always 1, 2, 3, 4 from one side and 1, 2, 3. Also from this side, if you count this, this is on the third line from this side, but on the fourth line from this side. So it's also a 3-4.
Okay.
And in total, you have this many options to play in the opening. And usually, no matter the board size, as long it is a symmetric board, and in larger boards, this is the 4-4 is also a valid option. So usually these are the only options, not only but the best options to play in the opening.
Got it. But this was a 9 by 9, right?
Yes. So even if I, let's say, if I show any random game, you would see that we play on the 4-4 and and my opponent played on the 3-4. I played again on the 4-4 because it's much easier to control the corner from this area. And
So
if
for
I just,
19 by
yes,
19 also 3, 4 rule is there.
yes. So we have, wait, uh, we have a 3-4. The rest are 4-4 here, but you can also play on the 3-3 and this 3-3. Yeah. So you have basically three options. There's 3-3, there's 3-4, and there's 4-4. And it could be in any of these corners. Okay. So yeah. So here we're trying to surround territory, right? So let's say you are making a fence in your house. How do you think would be making the fence easier? By going like this or by going like this?
I think by going alternate.
Yeah. So you would like to play something like this.
Okay.
The reason being it's efficient. Why it's efficient? When you play here, it's not solid territory yet. So the potential territory is only this much with two moves. But the moment I play here, the potential territory is increased by one line.
Got it.
And let's say from the bottom side, this is the fourth line. I can also play a knight's move on the third line. So it's similar. You can play a large knight's move also. So, but the only problem is that the further you'd get, there are more chances for invasions later. And always remember one thing, whenever your opponent touches you, you must respond. So the moment you touch me, I had 4 liberties. Now I only have 3 liberties. I am feeling very weak compared to before. So I increased my liberties. Now I have 5 liberties.
Okay. Over here, I made some mistakes.
Yeah. Ladder.
Like after I think D5, I should have not played D4.
So let me tell you, right now for black, as I said that corners are much easier to protect, I would try to protect the bottom corner like this. And even if white doesn't respond and does something else, I would like to reduce white's corner like this.
Okay.
Here, this could have also be a better option, but this isn't surrounding territory, so you're not really gaining something, but this is gaining something. You're making your corner more secure. Also, just I want to say this shape is called a table shape, and I will
Table.
share a yeah table shape. I will share a video with you guys in the WhatsApp group. I want everyone to go through the first half of the video. Okay, the video is called the Shape Lecture by a famous teacher who died a few years ago, and that was his best lecture. And that lecture, even a complete beginner who just know the rules can understand and learn about good shapes and bad shapes and why those bad shapes are called bad shapes.
Okay. Got it. We'll watch it. Yeah, this was my mistake.
Yeah. So right now you would want to secure your corner. Now I'm going inside your corner. You need to stop me. You need to create a border.
Got it.
Now I'm like, okay, your door is open. I am taking away all your possessions. And now the corner is not yours anymore. Here again, maybe something like this is better because when you're playing here, this is getting less. If you play here, it's better because it's getting more.
Okay.
Again, you touch me, I just respond. I increase my liberties. And this is a good move. You stop me from entering your territory. And here, I think this would have been a good move. Or even this.
Okay.
Because this is just on the first line. The first line isn't actually surrounding anything.
Right.
So, on that point, let's pick the top side. Okay. The first line is called the line of death. The reason being you're not surrounding anything, right?
Yeah.
That means you cannot make two eyes. That means you're basically dead.
Okay.
Sorry, this should not be two. And the second line is called the line of defeat. The reason it's called the line of defeat is because it's surrounding something, it's living, but it's not making the most out of each move it's making. Let's say each stone you place here is only gaining 1 point of territory. Okay. Third line is called the line of territory. Here you're actually making some territory. So for each move you're playing on a third line, you're making at least 2 points.
Got it.
And the fourth line is called the line of influence. It really doesn't matter in the smaller boards, but in the 19 by 19 board, we usually play on the fourth line because we want to control the center in mid game. And it
Okay.
usually doesn't have much to do with territory. So you can say it's a gamble. Like I am hoping to have good control in the center, and I'm wishing that my opponent doesn't deny anything that I want to do in the center, so I can get something, some territory or points in the center in the mid game.
Got it.
So I would suggest, as long as you're playing, let's say from next month, I would hope that you start playing on 19 by 19. And for 3 more months, I don't want you guys to focus on the fourth line. I want you guys to solely focus on making secure territory. Okay. Okay, let's go. Okay, here this is dead. 3 in a row. This is the vital point.
Would you let me live over there?
Yeah. So the reason being that you just count this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and there's 2, 8, 9. Okay, there's, let's say, 9 points here, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I am trying to cut you off here. That I didn't. So let's say right now I could cut you off.
Yeah.
Here.
I
Okay,
should
one
have
thing.
played H5.
Yes. So, but on the top side, uh, here, whenever you see this shape, these two groups are not connected, right? You
Yeah.
must connect.
Okay.
And this is a solid connection. There's a way of connecting two groups without solidly connecting. That is called a hanging connection. That is like this. So even though it is not connected, white cannot play inside because it will get captured right away. And this shape, this is called a tiger's mouth.
Okay.
Now what should white play? White should play here, and this group is dead.
Yeah.
And that's the end of the game. Because right now, no matter what white does, white cannot kill these two groups, and black cannot live inside here. There's not enough space for two eyes for
Yeah.
black. So at this point, both players can pass, or if so, there's two ways of ending a game. One is by passing, okay, and then it goes to counting. And the other way is that when you feel like you're losing, you can just directly resign.